let's break down why I'm saying Saudi Arabia is so important here and what they could potentially do and why they won't do it. One thing to keep in mind is that we've moved on sanctions, right? So we started with economic sanctions, didn't do anything, right? Russia didn't give a shit. Then we did financial sanctions, and this is starting to have some effect. This is going to take a while to get the ball rolling. We've already seen their economy start to pull back. We've seen the currency collapse. We've seen run on banks. We've seen them move out of the SWIFT. There's a lot going on right now, and this is going to take some while, whatever. And also, their central bank cannot access funds outside to keep their currency going. Now, one thing to keep in mind is Russia doesn't necessarily need their currency to be strong right now because they have two other things, and that is precious metals, oil, gas. Fun fact, while they are invading over here, these guys are still giving them money. I'm not even going to get into agriculture and other commodities. I'm just going to talk about these two. They are still getting paid by the same people. Now, we talked about how it was taking the EU forever to even talk about doing something about Russia. And everyone's condemning this. And it took 4 weeks for Germany to even say, yeah, we're going to stop we're going to halt production of the pipeline right now. But they haven't done any sanctions on energy because they need it. They're dependent. So all the while that this is how backdoor deals are done. It's kind of like when you hear a politician, you're like, oh, I'm voting Republican because the Democrats are socialists, or I'm voting Democrat because the Republicans are fucking fascists, or whatever. It's all two wings of the same bird. There's always backdoor deals being done. These guys don't give a shit about you, okay? I'm not saying that it's a one-to-one comparison here, but these guys are still buying and taking their energy and precious metals because they need energy, because they're in an energy crisis, which they did to themselves for a good reason, right? Because they want to get off of dirty energy and get on clean energy, but in that transition, they need dirty energy because obviously there's too much population to run on fucking 60% output solar panels. And there's a lot... there's a lot of reliance on natural gas and oil. Also, supply chain constrictions and a scarcity on a lot of precious metals, including stuff that's needed for building of cars and electric vehicles and everything, right? So nobody wants to lose out on that. So behind the scenes, okay, the EU and Russia are filming Backdoor Deal Part 9, okay? Out on DVD. All right, so this is still going on. So Russia is still getting paid. They're still making money. Precious metals, oil, and gas, right? So these are things that are very, very, very important, okay, to understand that this money is still flowing in. They're not stopping this. So why do I say Saudi Arabia is the most important country in the world right now when it comes to this conflict? Well, I don't mean that literally, obviously, okay? I don't mean that literally. There's so many other reasons. But a lot of you guys are screaming, well, Norway is more important because they're friendly. They're in the EU and they have oil too. Sure, but they don't have the infrastructure in place to export it at a level that is needed to fuel the entire European Union. Okay, sure, you can have all the oil you want, but if you can't get it to a place fast enough and in time, then well, it's not in the EU. But you know what I'm saying? Close enough to the EU. Sorry about that. They don't have the infrastructure in place to supply the entire European Union or Europe, whatever you want to call it. Let's just call it Europe. Okay, sorry. Let's just go ahead and add those guys back. Now, they have it. They just cannot supply enough because they were never the world's exporter of oil. You can have all the oil in the world, but if you don't have a way of getting it out there, it's not like they have, a bunch of direct pipelines there. Okay, it's just not set up for that. So you have to say to yourself, okay, where do we get oil elsewhere? Well, they've been working on trying to get that deal with Bahrain and Qatar, but those guys already have a lot of contracts with Asia and China and stuff like that. So there's a lot of, back and forth there. But why do I say Saudi Arabia may be the key to this? A couple reasons. Number one, they have a lot of fucking oil. Number two, they've had a lot of fucking oil for a long time. They have infrastructure in place. And number three, they're close enough that they could if they started now, it could be within a month you could probably have that oil there. But there are a couple issues. Number one, Saudi Arabia is perfect because they love to fuck with Russia. Them and Russia go back and forth messing with each other because both economies are so heavily reliant on oil. Saudi Arabia more than Russia, but so reliant on oil that these guys can fuck with each other anytime they want. These guys want to flood the market with more oil, drops the price, kicks Russia's economy's ass. Hurts them too, but hey, you cut off your nose to spite your face, whatever. And Russia, the same thing. They love to fuck with each other. And then OPEC steps in and says, all right, guys, let's calm it down. Let's calm it down. They're like, okay, we'll calm it down. We'll turn the spigot off. No, fucking you! What's your name? Russia. Hey, Russia, fuck you. Hey, what's your name? Saudi Arabia. Hey, fuck you. That's basically what happens with these guys, okay? So Saudi Arabia would love nothing more than to stick it right up Putin's ass, okay? I mean like as in like the proverbial fuck you. But once again, they are tied to OPEC, number one. Number two, when this conflict is all over, Russia's still going to be there, and you don't want to get too aggressive with somebody that can fuck with you just as much back in the future. Number three, their pipelines go through Syria, which is a big fan and friend of Russia. How it would take like that to blow up those pipelines. And then now Saudi Arabia is even more fucked than they were before. Now they're all kind of screwed over. And number 5 or 6, wherever we're at, the world's kind of distancing themselves from Saudi Arabia. Like, we're doing a lot of backdoor stuff. Like, we're like giving them like $22 billion worth of sales, selling them jets and military equipment, like that. But like the whole, you killed a journalist because he was speaking out against you, and you do a lot of human rights violations, and and there's a lot of other stuff going on right now. We kind of don't want to be too friendly right now, right? So it's not as simple as, all right, let's just turn the spigots on Saudi. By the way, Saudi Arabia is not here, guys. This is just, I'm just putting it here. It's down here, just for those of you guys who need some help with my American friends. So this is why I say Saudi Arabia could be the key to so much of this. All right. Oh my God, they moved it. No, they didn't move Saudi Arabia. No, guys, this is Morocco. No, Saudi Arabia didn't invade Morocco. No, it's not in Africa. It's in the Middle East. Russia's moved Saudi Arabia, the monsters. No, that's not what it, no. The world is changing so fast. No, it's not. This is not, Morocco got bigger. No, this is Saudi Arabia. No, I put it on the map here to show you what I was talking about. I'm not familiar with this part of the world. Please draw North America. No, Morocco did not invade Europe. Not since like the Carthaginians. Okay? So back to what I was saying. This is why, in my opinion, you have to make that decision of, are we willing to work with this, and is Saudi Arabia willing to, or would they rather just not worry about it, just stay on the sideline and say, y'all doing your own shit and whatever. These are options. And a lot of people keep saying to me, Stocky, you're fucking wrong. Norway. They don't have the infrastructure in place. Also, I would like to make a big shout out to Justin Trudeau in Canada. Massive news yesterday. For those of you guys who are unaware, there's a country, okay, it's called Canada. Very brave. Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, said that they are banning all imports of Russian crude oil, even though they don't import any oil from Russia. Brave. So brave.